94.3 WYBC, the rhythm of the city. Juan Castillo with you. And I am here today with Shafiq Abdussabur, candidate for mayor of New Haven. This is my brother right here, who for many, many years, we have been friends. I just want to say that. And we've worked on a lot of projects together. Before he talks about why he's running for mayor, I just want to introduce him to the people in New Haven. If you don't know him, let me just give you one little story, right? As you know, I'm about helping returning citizens here in our city, in our state. And returning citizens that come home from the penitentiary need help, and they also need hope. I go to a lot of people in this town for help, and some people turn me down, some people work with me. This brother right here, every time that I have gone to him, every time that I see what he's doing out there, he's helping young men and women that come home, and he puts all his efforts, all his resources in trying to help those young people. And I just want to say that. I guess I'm biased.
you just biased for the help. That's all. It's just biased for the help, man.
Well, listen, my brother, you've done a lot of work on law enforcement also. So I mean, let's talk about why at this time, because you've done a lot of stuff all over the country, here in our city. Why at this time it is time for you to do this?
Well, now it's a critical time. I mean, we see what's going on right now, what just happened in the news with Tyree Nichols, right?
Yes.
And we have a police department here that was faced with a similar challenge during George Floyd. And the police reform measures that was used by the current administration was to reduce the police funding, make an outside group to deal with mental health. But now we got a surge in gun violence, right? We got low law enforcement officers, right? The strategy was to hire more Black and brown officers in the community, but we see with the Tyree thing, that's not a solution, right? So we need people to have the blueprint for community-based policing to get back into office and to get the department back on track. I got the blueprint. I mean, that's just number one. And that blueprint is not just flooding the streets with more officers. It's not pandering to, the politics of what's going on. It's just being real honest about what's going on. Normally, our crime problem does not start on the street. It actually starts in the school system when we fail our children, right? And we know that when children have issues around learning, when they can't read, when they're not properly being educated, they're not giving the tools to be successful. And so when I'm talking to young people on the street, they can't get a job because they don't have the skills. They can't get a job because they're missing some other part of a vocational set that they don't need. So we need to be able to create an educational program that gives students the skills that pay the bills. That's what it is at the end of the day. At the end of the day, education is a place where you go to get prepared to be able to work the job that you can be able to be successful at and make the money to live. And so, again, I know that. I know the lay of the land. I'm born and raised here in New Haven. I know the community in and out. I've walked these streets as a law enforcement officer, a community organizer, a mentor, a father. I'm now walking these streets as a grandfather. I mean, this is how we're going to get New Haven back on track.
And you mentioned, I mean, obviously, socioeconomic issues. I just finished talking about that a little while ago on one of my podcasts. How that is extremely important in terms of when young people go to the streets, right? If you got a good life and your family's got some money, and the chances of you doing that are lessened.
That's correct.
So having said that, right?
That's correct.
From an economic perspective, what's your plan around our economy right here in the city?
So here's the deal with the economy, right?
Yes.
We've got so many people working for the city, and that's a great opportunity right there to harness money. But when we continue to hire people and don't encourage them to move to the city and don't provide housing where they can actually live in the city, you know what we do every week? Every week we pay Branford. That's what we do. Every week we pay Madison. Every week we pay Tolland. Every week we pay everybody but New Haven, because all the people that work for the city that don't live here, that paycheck gets deposited into an out-of-town economy. And the way we harness our money is we need to build houses. I said this when I ran for alder. I laid it out with the officers. Getting better community policing is not just hiring a black cop. I've said this before. The worst thing that white America can do when it comes to racial inequality is put somebody that's black, that's not qualified to do a job to help black people, or put somebody that's black in a job and they don't know how to be black to help black people. Right? I'm just being honest.
That's deep. Yeah, that's deep.
I'm being honest. Listen, I'm talking the truth, and we all know this, right? We all know this. So what we need, it's not about always black, white, Hispanic, Latino. It's about your heart. It's about your heart. The best way you get a police officer, put them next door to a resident. Let them live there. You know how the best way we build a teacher-student bond relationship with the parents? Put the teacher next door. Let them live there. So I've been advocating, and this is part of my platform. We need housing for our city workers, teacher, fire, police, our essential workers, school security officers, the record clerks, the people that work in dispatch. If we created real affordable housing, real affordable housing is housing you can actually afford to live in.
Right.
It's not how, and right now, the stuff we're building, who we're building apartments for? Who can live in New Haven? Who can live down? I got Yale grad students calling me saying, I can't afford to live on House Street. Who did they build that for? Because I keep hearing they built stuff for Yale students. We can't afford to live there. So here's the deal. The economy, you keep that money from those city workers in this city. And then when you keep that money in the city, you know what you do? You increase the revenue spending in the city. And now the downtown shops, there's a waiting line outside for somebody to go get, some Saray food or some pastry shop or all of these different things. But when it goes out of town, that money never comes back. That money comes back into New Haven for a cup of coffee.
Right. So now the other fact is that you mentioned as part of your campaign is really focusing on education. How would you do that?
This education system is just it's in crisis. When I was running, people said, we're so glad that you're running, Shafiq, because you've worked in the educational system. You were a substitute teacher, right? You worked on the mentoring program when you were a police officer, when Dr. Mayo and Mel Waring did the New Haven mentoring program. You've been working with youth, the troubled youth, right? The ones that have been absent from school and don't want to go back to school. We're so glad because that's our 8,000 students not in school. And now we got 12-year-olds. I'm getting reports from the news, 12 and 14-year-olds from New Haven stealing cars and crashing them out of town. Those kids should be in school. But they're not in school. So our educational system, we got to support our teachers. We can't blame students that they can't read when we haven't given teachers the supports and the resources to teach them properly how to read, to be able to take the time with a child that can read, take the time and mentor a kid. We can't blame parents for their students not coming to school and feeling like they can't achieve when we haven't staffed paraprofessionals inside the school and paid them a gainful wage. We treat our teachers and our paraprofessionals other than professionals. These are professional men and women and individuals have committed their lives to teaching our students, and we need to change our perspective on how we deal with this industry. That is a profession. It's not a trade. These people are teachers for life. You know why? Because everything they do with a child from the beginning affects them in the end. So here's the thing. I know the administration says, well, we got these great programs. These are untested programs. These are untested, no backing of success. These most recent programs that are on the table, $3 million. Why are we spending money to create school after school when we're not teaching kids how to read during school? We created a program to help police be better without helping the police do their job with the money we gave them, but we took the money away. We keep creating these alternative systems in government that don't need to be here. We just need to manage what we have properly, Give people the resources, teachers, fire, police, paraprofessionals, city staff, parks and rec, garbage. Give people the resources to be successful. Settle their contracts. Settle their contracts. Give them economic dignity. Trust them. Believe them. Treat them with respect. Say hi to them. How's your day? How's your day, Juan? How's everything going? Good. Listen, I appreciate you. Shake your hand. Thank you for the work that you do. Every day I see you walking by you. Every day. That's the mayor that I am. That's the mayor I want to be for this city. Instill hope and trust and belief in every single person. I don't care what you do, because whatever you do, it's important to make this city better.
My brother, I want to thank you for coming on, man. And I mean, I know your platform is a lot larger than this, but these are the three main issues that you're running on.
Yes, sir.
How can folks get in contact with your campaign if they want to help?
So they can contact us at voteshafiq.com. I made it simple. I left the last name off.
Because I always mess it up, right?
Yep.
I always mess it up.
Voteshafiq.com. And voteshafiq.com. I mean, that's it. And many people have my direct number, so you can call me if you need to reach me. But go to voteshafiq.com. You can punch in, be a volunteer, definitely donate, because we joined the Democracy Fund. We need 200 New Haven residents to donate us like $35. So come show your support. I know I got a lot of support out there, got a lot of people. So just make sure you support. We can do this. We can win this race. We can win this race and have a better New Haven. I guarantee you. Listen, when I become the mayor, if I don't do a good job the first 2 years, send me a letter. You can evict me from the city.
Yeah.
How's that?
Hey, listen, I mean, we need to have that.
Yeah, that's right. Listen, try it and test it. And guess what? When you evict me from the city, I beg you not to let me leave. But listen, born and raised here, I ain't going nowhere. I love my city. From four corners, 20 square miles of this city is my city. And I love everybody in it. And I'm going to work hard. I did it already. I did it.
Well,
I've done it in my life.
We got a long way to the election, so I need you to come back.
Oh, absolutely.
Again.
Absolutely.
The door's always open here.
Yes, sir.
And listen, you didn't have to run for mayor for me to know that you was the mayor in New Haven anyway.
Yeah, but you know what? I gotta run. You know what? But I gotta be the mayor in order to abide by the charter and make things better. So hey,
I hear you, brother. Because it's about the work that you've done, brother, and the work that you continue to do. Yeah. And I thank you for coming on. And please come back.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Thank you,
Juan Castillo with you as the Rhythm of the City, 94.3 WYBC.